Haiti is just such an unbelievable mess. If you've ever had a chance to go down there, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
This is the Hot Zone. Engaging with the news in a whole new way, international war correspondent Chuck Holton brings insight into areas of crisis and lets you help those affected.
In the last year or two, it's gone just crazy because of the lack or the ending of fuel subsidies by Venezuela that's caused the price of fuel to spike, and that's caused the price of everything else to spike. We have the endemic corruption. I mean, corruption is just part and parcel of the process in Haiti. And food shortages, every other kind of shortage. The kids have been out of school for months and months and months. They've been welding steel bars across bridges so that nobody can pass. And so there's hunger, there's warfare. Gangs have been fighting over territory. So, quite a party. Now, to talk about all this, I want to talk to my wife's cousin, Kevin Falde. He's a missionary down there that we support with Parakaleo Ministries. I just want to talk to him about this. Let's bring him in on a Skype call.
So Kevin is a pastor and has been in Haiti all his life, really. Kevin, tell us a little bit about your history in Haiti and how did you end up living there?
So we moved down there. My parents moved down there when I was only 4 years old, back in the 80s, and they were missionaries there through 89. Then we came back, worked with a lot of Haitian churches in South Florida. So really we've been around Haitian churches throughout most of my life anyways. Even on through college, we still had a lot of contact with Haitian churches. But I planted a church in South Carolina back in 2006 and pastored for 12 years. And ever since the earthquake hit Haiti back in 2010, we just started taking groups down, taking church groups and different individuals that wanted to go and be a part of the rebuilding effort down in Haiti. And then that morphed into more of a church planting, working with Christian schools and that kind of thing over the last several years. And now we're in the process of moving back there full time. Our family is. So we're about a year out from that.
Now, that's been a really difficult challenge for you guys because of the things that have been going on in Haiti. You were going down there and spending a month or two at a time, and then everything just kind of caught fire down there. Tell me a little bit about just for people who don't know, haven't been following this, what's the history over the last 6 or 8 months looked like down there?
It's been pretty rough. So back in January and February this year, we were down there. Our whole family was down there. We had different groups that came and went during that time. We had one group that left as things were really starting to explode. They left early. I think it was on a Saturday morning, and they were able to get to the airport, but they had to go through some of those initial roadblocks. And then when our family left a couple weeks later, it was pretty rough in Port-au-Prince. There had been a shooting that morning. Of course, our kids saw death right there in the streets as we went into the airport. So that was at the beginning of this year, and it's just been on and off. It's been pretty rough. It would calm down some and then take off again, and that's where it's at now. Right. So the kids have been out of school for a long time, and I just saw this article today that some of the kids have started going back to school because the government said, we got to open the schools back up. We want the kids to go back to school. And some did, but not very many. And we're talking about places like Pétionville, which you and I both know is like the Beverly Hills of Haiti. So their school had 400 out of 2,000 students show up. Many schools might have had 2 or 3 students show up, and a lot are still closed. So it's still not back to normal. The situation is, so I saw this video, and I showed it to you, of some guys that slaughtered a pig, like sacrificed a pig in front of the U.S. Embassy and had a big ceremony out there, a big riot and everything. And what was that all about? You heard what that guy had to say. What was he saying? Well, I didn't see the pig part, but I saw the one clip that you sent me and asked me to translate there, where he was basically saying that they want their freedom from the U.S. Embassy, from America, kind of controlling things, and that was kind of his take on things. And it's really easy. The more I thought about that some later too, if you're on a sports team, I played a lot of soccer growing up. Anytime your team is losing, it's easy to point at your teammates, your fellow teammates, the referee, your coach, even the other team, and just point fingers and blame others as you go. I think it's the same idea. If your country is losing and just having a hard time, and really people in Haiti are just suffering, they're suffering right now. And when you're in that poverty, you're trying to feed your kids, you don't see which way to go, where to turn. It's easy to blame whoever, and it could be the U.S., it could be your own president, whoever's closest and whatever seems best. But in the end, it's not going to improve your situation until, going back to the soccer team, until we as individuals on this team and as a coach, we all improve, it's not going to get any better. We're not going to start winning.
Yeah, and I think since you've been down there for so long, you really understand that there's no amount of aid money that we could pump into that country that's going to make things better there. There's no amount of development we could do that's really going to make things better long term if we don't change people's hearts. And that's why you're there doing what you do. Tell us a little bit about Parakaleo and your ministry.
So Parakaleo International, we started, I want to say back in 2011 or 12, just a while after the earthquake. And it's basically just, it's a small organization that it's a way for individuals and churches to get involved and get down there and get hands-on experiences with church planting. We've had churches here that have just taken on church plants basically down there and help new pastors, help church planters go to Bible college, help buy a piece of land in some cases for a new church to get started. And I really feel like we have to get out, especially into the rural areas. There's rural areas that are just voodoo infested, satanic worshiping areas that don't have even one church there. And so if we can plant a church in that community, and if the Lord Jesus tarries and doesn't come back soon, that church can be established and be a light there for many years to come. But I've read different statistics. One says that 80% of the population is in the rural areas of the country. So if we can reach into those rural areas, plant churches, a lot of times a Christian school is born right away because people can't read or write in those rural areas. So that's sometimes attached right away to the church, and the pastors, deacons, leaders there at the church become teachers and administrators in the school at the same time, just out of necessity. So the idea is there, if we can just keep reaching people in darkness and turn them from darkness to light, that's the hope. The gospel is the hope for countries. And the Bible makes that clear too, that blessed is a nation whose God is the Lord. Sin is a reproach to any people. So if we can turn people's hearts from darkness to light, that's ultimately what makes a difference. And like you said, pumping aid in, you and I both know, even our government, which is great compared to a lot in the world, we're not super efficient by any means with what we do. So imagine in our inefficiency, sending 10 million to Haiti, to a government that's even less efficient and what we'd say more openly corrupt. Most of it's just not going to get to its intended purpose that way.
And that just creates more resentment, more anger that we're seeing come out in all of these protests and riots that have taken place over the last just years. I mean, this has gone back so long. The first time I went to Haiti was like 1986 or something. And it's 10 times worse now than it was then. And we've put $1 billion a year into Haiti since then. So, we've essentially bought that country by now. And it's no better because pumping money into something does not solve the problem. If anything, it exacerbates the problem if you don't change people's hearts. And so I've been really impressed as I've been able to go to Haiti with you, travel out into the rural areas and see the work that you guys are doing out there, because you are changing hearts. And when you do that, it makes a difference. People start to have a better sense of their own self-worth. They have a better sense of helping their fellow man. I mean, there is a real magic in charity. But the way that the government has tried, and governments around the world have tried to help Haiti, has perverted that magic into a dark magic. It's really made things worse, because they've taken the charity part out of it. They come and steal my money in the form of taxes, and they send it to Haiti in the form of aid, and it ends up creating more poverty and more resentment and more anger. I mean, how many times have you been down there and tried to give somebody some money and they say, no, wait, that's not enough?
Yeah.
When they see a white face, they immediately think, oh, you're here to give me money, you're here to give me something, great. And they don't have that sense of pull yourself up, do it yourself. And that's partially our fault, because we've trained them to be that way for generations. And so I really like what you guys are doing with Parakaleo. And what are your plans for the future? We're recording this on Giving Tuesday. So what are your plans with the donations you're bringing in to make a difference in Haiti?
Well, first, let me say thanks for those kind words. But I can't take a whole lot of credit, because we both know it's God that changes hearts. But I have to give a lot of credit to the missionaries, like my parents and others that were original missionaries down there. And because of growing up down there through their work, I have contacts with pastors all over the country and people, and of course, learning the language at 4 years old, you can speak it without any accent. So all of those are those are nice tools to have. But it's nothing I did to get them.
I love to see the look on people's faces when we're in Haiti with you, and people say something about you and don't just assume you don't speak Creole, and then you let go on them, and they just kind of go like, whoa.
Yeah, that's always a good time. But back to just answering your question, I have to say a big thanks for everyone that gave today, including you and Connie. It's such a blessing, and for people to grasp and understand, if we're able to raise, I think we've raised about 12 or 13,000 so far today, and we still have like 4,000 of matching funds that have been designated that people can still give and get their money doubled. But even more exciting than that is understanding the purchasing power you have with that amount of money in Haiti. If you look at the difference, like between college tuition, sending a guy to Bible college down there versus here, or a church buying a little piece of land to build on down there versus what a church would have to pay here, it's about 5% down there. So if you take that giving, $12,000 or whatever, and divide that by 0.05, you realize you have over $250,000, of
in
purchasing
American dollars. Yeah.
So it's really exciting. Even raising $10,000 or $20,000 here really opens up new doors. We have churches, and I'll say 3 or 4, maybe up to 5 communities right now, new locations that are waiting for a church plant, and we have time, because we won't get that money right away. I think we don't get it till January or something from Facebook, what came in through there, but. So we'll have time to pray through some of that, but that opens up doors to either buy some more pieces of land for new church plants, send a couple more guys to Bible college, finish some other church building projects, that kind of thing. So today's been really excited for Parakaleo. It's been a great day for us.
Fantastic. Well, hey, man, good talking to you, and thanks for being on the podcast today. Folks, if you want to support Parakaleo, where can they go, Kevin?
So today on Giving Tuesday, they can go to our Facebook page. It's Parakaleo International. That's spelled Parakaleo International. You can go to parakaleointernational.com, or like I said, the Facebook page, Parakaleo International, and you can give through either of those. And we really appreciate whatever you do. It's 100% of it goes down there. It's not through Parakaleo. It's not for our family or for anyone working. We don't have any employees. It's just 100% of it goes right into the church planting work down there. So it's exciting.
It doesn't go into the Falde Lamborghini fund, huh?
No. We still have too many kids for that.
Yeah, right. All right. Well, folks, I hope you will give generously to Parakaleo. We support it, and I hope you will too. So, Kevin, God bless you, and we'll pray that you keep on being blessed in the work that you do as you seek to do His will in Haiti. So, thank you again.
Thanks a lot, Chuck. Thanks for having us on.
The Hot Zone is produced by Amy Holton and Livefire Media. Copyright 2019.